Hello folks, welcome to the WFCU Center, the host venue of tonight's NBL Canada clash between the London Lightning and the hometown Windsor Express. Back on the mic with you tonight, Brett Head is alongside Aaron Sanders. And Aaron, you see these two teams very closely covering both the London Lightning and the Windsor Express. Tell us a little bit about what you can expect in this matchup tonight between these two NBL Canada rivals.
Well, for the Windsor Express first, you got to expect a lot of firepower in their front court. With DeMontre Harris starting off, ever since he was a starter, he's been averaging a double-double game. And as for the London Lightning side, I think we alluded to this so many times at Budweiser Gardens that the London Lightning has switched up their way of plays. Now you see the front court back complementing the back court. You see Garrett Williamson and Ryan Anderson, they're firing threes. But now it's a big problem for them, probably a minor one at best, when Royce White will not be playing for at least the next little while. But coming back is Julian Boyd, and I know for a fact that anybody that comes back to the London Lightning this year, either from injury or suspensions, they always have a good first game. So you better expect good lasting first impressions here this afternoon.
And of course, Aaron, we're right near the midway point of the regular season for the Windsor Express. They are 8-11 right now. What do you think a big win, getting them to 9-11, would do for their confidence heading to the midway point of the year?
Well, it's going to bring a lot of expectations for them because, once again, the Windsor Express, they had a slow start, but now they're getting the pieces to the puzzles, if you will. You're seeing a lot more firepower up top, and you're seeing a lot more confidence from the backcourt. So you're seeing this chemistry gel, and a win like this will give them a surefire fact that they could fight for second place, and if they are lucky, they could probably get first place as well.
Absolutely, and a big piece of Windsor's most recent success has been the front court play of DeMontre Harris, the big man, 6'10", 240+ pounds. Tell us a little bit about how much he can impact this game for the Windsor Express, having Royce White not be in the low post tonight.
Do you know how much confidence this guy brings in, folks, for the 519 Crusaders? He brings a lot of excellence for them. It brings up a lot of faith in the transition game. The guy will box you out, and he will make himself a bully of the boards as we are underway. We've seen him tip off right there, Brett. So once again, good confidence on the front court. So expect him to get a lot of rebounds here today.
Couldn't agree more with you, my friend. We are underway between the London Lightning and the Windsor Express from the WFCU Center on Knockstrom.tv. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. Here's Chad Frazier with a three, and he starts off hot once again.
And you know, he's becoming a fan favorite with those shots like that because, you know, at the beginning of the season, he was known for setting up for those shots, but now you could see him. He could get those open trades immediately, so you better contest him if you're the London Lightning early on.
The London Lightning will start with Doug Herring Jr., Maurice Bolden, who's got the ball now, backing down in the low post. Can't get the shot over Logan Stutz. Here's up the front court now is Maurice Jones. Chad Frazier with a jab step on Doug Herring Jr. Logan Stutz going down low to DeMontre Harris. We're going to get a foul on the inside. Nope, we're going to call a three in the key. That one's going to go against Trey. Turnover.
Let me tell you something about Maurice Bolden. Of course, the hand injury cost him to lose a few first games of the season, but ever since he's gotten back, he has been coming out like gangbusters. He averaged a double-double in his first 2 games, and he was one of the reasons why he was Player of the Week about a few weeks ago. So, like I said, once again, any player that plays their first game from injury or suspension from the London Lightning, they'll have a good game. We have yet to see Julian Boyd, however, but a lot of expectations for him. He wants to pick up where he left off when he got injured late last season.
Absolutely one of the most dynamic players in the National Basketball League of Canada before injury. Here's a good passing around the world for the London Lightning. Ends up in a quick pass inside for Marcus Capers for 2 off the glass.
And Marcus Capers is one of those guys you do not want to gain access for those backdoor passes. So once again, Capers, he's real good on the perimeter, but once you get him right in real deep, you better challenge him as best as you can.
Windsor Express moving through their offense here. Logan Stutz defended closely by Ryan Anderson, 2 of the premier players in this league. Stutz, a former league MVP. Chad Frazier for 3. Oh, circled the drain, couldn't find the bottom. Quickly up the floor now comes London. Herring Jr. on the near wing. Goes inside to Ryan Anderson. They're going to attack Maurice Jones in the low post. Kick out to Herring Jr. for 3. No good. It's a little long. Rebounded by Shaq Keith.
And Doug Herring Jr. is one of those crucial threats when it comes to the Lightning bench, but he started a few games in this season, so expect him to stir a lot of wonders. Chad Frazier, on the other hand.
Chad Frazier with the teardrop. 5-2 for the Windsor Express, opening up here in the opening 2 minutes.
And one thing to mention here, Brett, the season series, both of these clubs are knotted at 1. The Express met at the Budweiser Gardens with London early on in December. Shaq Keith with a shooting clinic, but on the other hand, a few weeks later, the London Lightning took care of business then in a good, convincing victory.
Absolutely, and these two teams have had their share of battles over the years, a couple of 7-game playoff series in the past. Shaq Keith going off the bounce. He's going to draw a reach-in foul on Doug Herring Jr. With 9:17 to go here and 14 to go on the shot clock, Windsor will reset.
So if you summarize the 401 rivalry, this is Book 6, their 6th year going up against each other, but Chapter 3, chapter meaning the season. So every chapter is a good one, always a close game, and this is what you got to offer. Harris
showing off the mid-range game, just a little long there. Ryan Anderson in transition to Mo Bolden. He finishes. No, Garrett Williamson off the glass. Second chance opportunity comes up empty. Maurice Jones crossing the timeline. Waiting for a screen from Harris. In the corner for Frazier. Cross-court pass to Stutz. Quick over to Shaq Keith for 3. It's good.
And you know Shaq Keith, he's that all-around player any team would want representing them. And, you know, once again, over the years, we've seen him improve his game. No question about it. He improved his game from beyond the arc.
Anderson a little bit short on the 3 ball. Frazier up into the front court. Waiting for a screen. Gets one from Harris. Goes to his right. One-on-one. We're going to go Shaq Keith on Ryan Anderson. Step back 3. Keith. A little long there in the hands of Williamson. At the free throw line, he'll settle it over to Anderson in the corner. Out of the reach for Garrett Williamson. Turnover, London Lightning.
And that's a rarity to see the London Lightning get a faux pas on that. One of their issues in the early goings of the season here, Brett, was the ability for them to cluster on one side defensively, but they improved that with their speed and their high IQ upside.
4 minutes into the first quarter, Windsor Express leading 8-2 over the London Lightning. Logan Stutz in the low post, defended by Williamson. Drop step, puts a shoulder down, kicks it out to Jones. Quick pass over to Keith for 3. Just off the mark, DeMontre Harris with a hand in, but it's cleaned up by Williamson. Capers up the floor. Herring Jr. to Williamson. Bumps into Shaq Keith and will draw the foul and get to the free throw line for the first time today, Garrett Williamson.
And once again, Garrett Williamson is a guy you do not want at the free throw line or you want to leave open for those shots because as he's shown over and over again over the years that he is really resilient and he is the two-way player. I mean, there's one player that I think could give him a run for his money, and that's Guillaume Payon-Boucard over at Niagara. But every time he goes up against Windsor, he turns up the Jets tenfold and puts on a display we'll never forget, as indicated last year in the Central Division Finals.
Absolutely. Just one of those guys is super hard to keep from getting to the basket. Very shifty. Can mix it up with the mid-range jump shot as well. Mixes in a 3 every once in a while. Has the dual citizenship as well. It's always plays nice into this league.
Absolutely.
DeMontre Harris goes high-low to Logan Stutz, and we're going to have a holding call in the key area, and that one's going to go against Ryan Anderson.
That was a good play for Harris to react on that. Good high-low pass, like you said right there, Brett. Logan Stutz is not the guy you want to leave open, especially on his right side, because he has that shifty spin move that'll get him set up for a good jump hook.
Shaq Keith His pass is intercepted by Maurice Jones. Off the bounce, and he's robbed by the rim. Here come the Express the other way. Shaq Keith driving to Stutz for the easy two. Shaq Keith and Logan Stutz connect there for a basket, but up the court quickly are the London Lightning. 10-4 lead for the Express. Bolden to the rim is off the mark. Here comes the Express. In the corner, Chad Frazier. No, off the mark.
Not a good shot for Frazier. Nobody was open for the box-out game for the Windsor Express.
Down low for Capers off the glass. It's good for 2. Cuts the lead to 10-6 early on. Approaching the midway mark of the first quarter here in NBL Canada action. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Aaron Sanders and Brett Hedges on the call. They're going to land out of bounds. Nearly a turnover for the Express. We're going to get some substitutions into the game now. A pair for London and one for the Windsor Express. That is newcomer Sefton Barrett.
Sefton Barrett didn't have a good performance in his Windsor Express debut Thursday. Amounted to a couple of turnovers, but once again, he only trained for the team since the beginning of this week, so of course it's going to take a lot more time for him to gel within the system.
Fantastic player, former member of the London Lightning, Logan Stutz on the drive, kicks it to Shaq Keith, going around Bolden with some contact. No call. Up the floor come Lightning. Friesen to Bolden, quickly over to Anderson, sweeps through, crosses back over, and that three, swish!
That's a beauty. That's one of those threes that got him that three-point record last year. And if you don't get a body on him, he's going to make you work for it the whole night.
Shaq Keith for 3, and he answers. Ryan Anderson puts Windsor back up 13-9. Williamson quickly up the floor. Bolden in the corner for 3. That's off the mark. Goes high off the glass, and Kirk Williams Jr. will be called for a push down low as he and Chad Frazier were battling for the rebound.
And I like to mention, too, there are some London Lightning players who used to play for the Express in years past. We have Ryan Anderson, of course, Mo Bolden, and we'll describe the list when we come out of this media timeout.
Yeah, the Windsor Express up 13-9 over the London Lightning. Let's take a short media break. We'll be back with more from NBL Canada action at the WFCU Center.
When it comes to cash loans, our customers will tell you there's only one choice: Cash Money. It's home of the original 300 for 20, where you can get a $300 cash loan for just $20. And with Cash Money's express approval, if you need more than $300, you can get it in minutes. And if that's not enough, we've got a kangaroo as our mascot. Okay, 300 for 20 is probably enough. So for cash loans for people who really care, come to Cash Money, home of the original 300 for 20.
Cash Money, love my Cash Money.
Welcome back. Coming out of the timeout, the Windsor Express leading the London Lightning 13-9 midway through the first quarter. Maurice Jones on the offensive set for the Express. That pass is deflected out of bounds by Ryan Anderson. Such a crafty defender. We've seen him over the years leading in a number of categories. Last year was three-pointers, and this is an impressive defender as well, stealing the ball a number of times and turning that defense into offense.
And once again, another two-way player, and his little signature is that quick catch and shoot from around the wing. So you don't get there in time, he will kill you with that. Jones, on the other hand.
Jones with the step-back jumper is just off the mark. Rebounded by Williamson. Bringing up the floor is Ryan Anderson. Gets a high screen, hedged out by Rayson and Stutz, who just came back in. Dallin Barrett is blocked at the rim. Stutz in the corner, racing, launches off the mark. There's going to be a foul in the corner. And that's going to go against D'Alembert as Racing will go to the free throw line for a trifecta of free throws, Aaron.
And Braylon Racing is one of those guys who also lights up the charts here for the Windsor Express. He's going off to the line right now, and this is not the guy you want down because he shoots 83% from the free throw line, but almost 14 points a game for him. So he can catch and shoot immediately. Looks like there's no foul, no free throws on the play, however.
Pardon me there, Aaron. They're going to call that foul on the floor. Windsor will reset. It's under 5 minutes to go here in the first. Stutz on the far wing, playing give and go with Maurice Jones. In the mid post, Stutz baseline rises up and connects with the jumper.
A la Dirk Nowitzki on that fadeaway down inside. Impressive.
Very impressive from Logan Stutz as Sefton Barrett knocks a pass out of bounds. Trying to limit that quick transition offense from the London Lightning. They can be very deadly with that, Aaron, as we've seen in years past, as Anderson works in the London offense. Over to Friesen. Kirk Williams Jr. for three. Too strong. Racing rebounds. Up the floor come the Express. Stutz. Through the leg, step back three. Ooh, just off the mark there as Williams Jr. with the rebound over to Anderson. D'Alembert to Williamson as he cuts baseline. Back out to Anderson as he saves it from going out to a backcourt violation. Knocked away at the three-point line, reconnected, but Shaq Keith is there with the steal.
Impressive play by Shaq Keith to keep his eyes on the ball, especially in the mid-range game.
Shaq Keith, he's going to get called for the offensive foul there. As you were saying, dipped the shoulder a little bit. The defender had his feet established. It's a good call for the officials.
You could get it in any direction. It doesn't have to be inside the paint. It's just a matter of setting yourself up.
Thank you very much for that. It becomes a lot of gray area to see an offensive foul, say at the foul line, at the three-point line. We see it more commonly in the low post, but if you set your feet, like you said, Aaron, and you play defense and you get in front of your defender, you can pick up a charge anywhere on the floor.
Exactly.
Back into the game now, Doug Herring Jr., one of the best assists man this league has ever seen. D'Alembert loses it momentarily. It's going to go off of Anthony Otley Jr., says the official, and it will stay with the London Lightning. 13 to go on the shot clock, Aaron.
And one thing to mention, too, you said Doug Herring Jr. In the last two games where the Lightning went to overtime, he had one of the best assist games anybody could ever imagine from this fella.
And it seems as though as the season rolls on, as Williams Jr. can't hang on to the inbounds pass, as the season rolls on, Anthony Otley Jr. seems to be picking up more and more minutes, and he seems to be becoming more of a big-time contributor for this club.
Well, it's because the Express needed a lot more confidence when it comes to broken plays and second chance opportunities, so he and Desmond Hubert complement the team real well with their efforts.
Maurice Jones getting a high screen from Sefton Barrett. Barrett to his left now, going against Julian Boyd. Stops, pops, can't get the jump shot to drop. Kyle Johnson, who just checked into the game with the rebound. Doug Herring Jr. at the three-point line. He drives, can't finish. Picked up by Anthony Otley Jr. Here come the Express. In the corner, racing at the free throw line, finds Logan Stutz down low for two.
And that's how he quietly gets those double-doubles. It's just those good high-low passes that he has been accustomed to in the last 3 years.
17-9 lead for the Windsor Express in the first quarter. Doug Herring Jr. on the far wing goes inside to Julian Boyd. Kirk Williams Jr. off the bounce gets fouled by Sefton Barrett. He will go to the free throw line. Tough take for Kirk Williams Jr., one of the toughest players we've ever seen coming out of the NBL Canada. And a great pickup from the London Lightning this past offseason, Aaron.
And once again, he's one of the few players that played for the Express. You got Mo Bolden, you got Ryan Anderson that also played for them. But going back to Kirk Williams Jr., the guy has so much force. You don't want him to get any space down the perimeter because he could attack you at will. And also to mention, too, Brett, I don't think we mentioned this yet, but this is Julian Boyd's first game in about a year and a half. So once again, coming off a tough leg injury that ended his season so prematurely. So it's great to see him back in there. And once again, it goes to show that players, they foretell a much better story than the game itself when it comes to situations like those.
Absolutely. These are the reasons why we play those games. And great to see Julian Boyd back on the hard court in the NBL Canada. Racing over to Maurice Jones. Gets a screen from Desmond Hubert. He shakes it off, gives it over to Anthony Otley Jr. He drives at the free throw line, hesitates, finds Desmond Hubert.
Wow.
Loose ball goes to Maurice Jones. No shot, hit rim, so that will be a shot clock violation against the Windsor Express. A little bit of a broken play there, but credit the London Lightning for solid defense on that play. 17-10, the Windsor Express lead here with 2:10 to go here in the first quarter. On a beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Windsor, Ontario. Had a great drive down Riverside Drive on the way here. Had the windows down just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Not too much, but Kirk Williams Jr. And Julian Boyd will be called for his 3-second violation, and it'll be another turnover here.
You know, I'm still surprised it's still the first quarter, Brett, because both of these clubs knew they were coming out guns a-blazing. Well, the one thing to mention, too, the Lightning are last in points allowed, and 113 points exactly, and the Windsor Express are en route of getting to that as they lead 17-10. Anthony
Otley Jr. going one-on-one, defended by Kirk Williams Jr. Puts up the left-handed shot. Can't get it to fall. Joel Friesen with the rebound, quickly up the floor to Doug Herring Jr. Williams down low. And almost in the hands of Bill Jones. It'll be another turnover for the London Lightning. Little uncharacteristic for this team under Keith Vassell, who went on a fantastic run over the past 6 or 7 weeks or so in the regular season. Absolutely doing work in the regular season, getting themselves at the top of the NBL Canada Central Division.
Well, not only Keith Vassell is the most disciplined coach in the NBLC, he's the most disciplined coach around the nation, as he's shown in the last few years coaching the Niagara Knights in the OCAA. Sefton
Barrett kicks it out to Braylon Racin.
Oh, wow.
Throws it up to Desmond Hubert, and he finishes in with a nice touch. Tips it in for two, and it's 19-10 for the Express.
Nothing new for Desmond Hubert to get that ad-lib lob, as we've seen this past Thursday night against the Cape Breton Highlanders, where he tickled the rafters.
Julian Boyd with his first bucket. Welcome back, Julian, from a long injury there. Some familiar territory, knocking down a mid-range jumper. 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Racin calling for a high screen from Hubert. He gets it. Swings it over to Frazier. Frazier waits for a screen. Over to Hubert, just out of his reach, but it goes past the defender, and he recollects and goes off glass for two.
On that halfway broken play, Desmond Hubert, he just played on because the Lightning were ready to go in transition, and that caught him off guard.
Oh, big block from Sefton Barrett on Julian Boyd. Transition opportunity, Chad Frazier takes it for two.
That little ice cream scoop. Once again, the London Lightning flustered on the fast break.
23-12, Windsor up, 10 seconds to go here in the first. Julian Boyd setting up a high screen for Doug Herring Jr. He goes to his left. Back to his right, inside, takes contact, and we'll get a foul called as we hit triple zeros on the first quarter. Desmond Hubert will be the guilty party, and Herring Jr. will have a chance to get a couple of free points before the end of the quarter. Aaron, your thoughts on the opening 12 minutes?
Incredible. The Windsor Express, I don't know what happened to them the last few weeks, Brett, but they're really coming out clicking on all cylinders. We've seen them play against the Highlanders. This was the same type of play they established early on into the game, and now we're seeing them convert on fast breaks. They're really aware defensively, and that's one of the reasons why they have got the London Lightning's goat so far.
Absolutely, a great start for the Windsor Express, and it goes to you saw their start on Thursday, on how much they poured it on in the first quarter there, and they were able to establish a pretty sizable lead as Doug Herring Jr. knocks down his first free throw. And regardless, heading into the first quarter break here, the Windsor Express at minimum are going to be up 10 here, Aaron, after a split. After the first free throw is good by Doug Herring Jr. A good start to the game for the Express for sure.
And it was all because they stayed very zeroed in on defense. And we're going to have 0.5 seconds here. Nothing doing.
Lone Star shooter. Nope. Braylon Racin decides to hold on, and the Express will live to play in the second quarter. We'll take a break and we'll have some stats and facts from the first and some scores from around the league. We'll come back here for Knockstrom.tv's production of Windsor Express basketball. We'll be right back, folks.
When it comes to cash loans, our customers will tell you there's only one choice: Cash Money. It's home of the original 300 for 20, where you can get a $300 cash loan for just $20. And with Cash Money's express approval, if you need more than $300, you can get it in minutes. And if that's not enough, we've got a kangaroo as our mascot. Okay, 300 for 20 is probably enough. So for cash loans for people who really care, come to Cash Money, home of the original 300 for 20.
Cash money, love my cash money. Hey.
Welcome back, folks. Heading into the second quarter between the Windsor Express and the London Lightning. Windsor up 23-14, but let's look around the league, Aaron, as we see four games of action going on in NBL Canada today.
A plethora of games going on. We'll start to the center 200. Highlanders playing host to the Riptide. The Riptide take care of business 74-55. Halifax taking on the Island Storm at the East Link Center. The Island Storm with a 2-point edge, 65-63 in the third quarter. And the game to look at, in addition to this, the River Lions taking on the Titans. The River Lions with a 12-point edge as they are underway there in the second quarter, like we are.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Maurice Bolden at the three-point line. Hesitation dribble goes inside the key and knocks down the jumper for 2 points. It's 23-16 on the after the opening possession of the second quarter here on Knockstrom.tv.
So effortless for Mo Bolden to get that J to go. This is one of the reasons why he averages about 17 points per game.
Sefton Barrett, who had a big block earlier in the first quarter. There's a turnover. Ryan Anderson up the floor. Off glass for 2. Turning that defense into offense once again, Ryan Anderson. And here come the Windsor Express now, just up 23-18. Otley Jr. for 3. That's good for a triple.
Easy shot right there. Nobody was there to answer the call from Anthony Otley Jr. And once again, that's not the guy you want to leave open in situations like those.
The Red Deer College product. Julian Boyd down low, just gets it to fall. That's the shooter's roll for Julian Boyd, who's got 4 points in his return.
Julian Boyd's taking all those good shots right now and becoming well aware of the offense so far.
Otley Jr. can't get it inside to Sefton Barrett, so he'll take it himself for 2.
Once again, 5 straight points on 2 possessions for Otley Jr. London with no answers to penetrate.
Down low to Doug Herring Jr. going one-on-one against Braylon Rayson. The mismatch down low. Doug goes off glass for 2. And cuts it to 28-22 in favor of the Windsor Express. Logan Stutt's going to come in shortly, and so is Marcus Capers. Otley Jr. cross court to Frazier. Going to set up a high screen with Hubert. At the free throw line, Chad Frazier, turnaround jumper, and he'll draw the foul on Julian Boyd. A crafty veteran, Chad Frazier, who has imposed himself in this Windsor Express offense since day one from coming over from Cape Breton. It's been a great veteran touch to this offense. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, it's one of the reasons why Bill Jones picked him up. He's a hot-to-trot shooter. I mean, he shoots with confidence. He's able to draw the contact at will, and as we've seen right there. And once again, for a guy that averages around 15 points even per game and shooting 78% from the free throw line, once again, a positive threat, especially when he starts for the Windsor Express.
It was a little banged up when he came over early in the regular season, but you knew when he came in, was coming into form and getting healthy, that he was going to be a big help for this squad as he makes 2 for 2 from the free throw line, makes it 30-22, 2 minutes into the second quarter. Aaron Sanders and Brett Hedges on the call. Thanks for tuning in, folks, for this NBL Canada rivalry game between London and Windsor. Kyle Johnson over to Bolden. Anderson with a screen and roll to Bolden. He loses it on the way up, and we're going to call a foul on the drive. That one's going to go against Stutz. Yep, Logan Stutz, number 3, going to get called on the foul, his first of the game.
Give credit to Mo Bolden to try to beat the double team right there down to the rim. I mean, he's showing no flares of all from his recent injury. But once again, the London Lightning has played at least a game every week as opposed to 3 games a week. So you could tell that they're completely recharged.
Absolutely. Logan Stutz, that'll be his second foul, something that Coach Bill Jones will have to keep his eye on as we continue in the first half. Maurice Bolden goes 2 for 2. 1 for 2. It's 30-23, 9:30 to go here in the second. Frazier looking down low for Atley Jr. He wasn't open. Gonna go one-on-one instead. Turns it over, goes off a leg and into the hands of Logan Stutz for a pair.
You know, that play right there was all kismet, and that's what those broken plays are all about. The Windsor Express, the top teams to take advantage of those plays.
Maurice Bolden sets it over to Doug Herring Jr. Screens for Doug. Finds a wide open Marcus Capers. 2 cracks at the can down low. London can't get it. Third chance. Third time's a charm for Maurice Bolden. That's a big 2 points. It's 32-25.
It was all because he was open, and Marcus Capers was getting double teamed right there, so it enabled Mo Bolden to come inside to get the job done.
Frazier on the near wing battling against Kyle Johnson. Frazier to his right. Spins to his left, off glass, good for 2. Beautiful finish from Chad Frazier.
Chad Frazier's just tearing it up right now. It's one of those guys that, once again, you need to stop.
Johnson, Chad Frazier was trailing behind and he draws the commits the foul. A bit of back and forth between Johnson and Frazier, 2 of the premier guards in this league. Windsor up 34-29. Aaron, 8:19 to go as we see a couple of subs coming in for Windsor.
Not a good decision on Windsor's part for the foul. Yes, Chad Frazier was trailing, but he should have let whoever was guarding Johnson to take care of the business. It's better off getting a contested shot than forcing a foul in those situations, as Kyle Johnson misses the first free throw. But once again, you got to pay attention to Kyle Johnson, because if he heats up like he did last year when he dropped 51, then once again, you're going to be at a major disadvantage, because once I said at the beginning of the show, the London Lightning are capitalizing on their backcourt.
34-26. Windsor up by 8. Shaq Keith in the high post, defended by Doug Herring Jr. Kicks it out to Chad Frazier for triple. It's good, and he's on fire, Aaron.
And I think Keith Vazel's squad hasn't caught up to the memo that Chad Frazier will connect to you from downtown.
Doug Herring Jr. can't connect with Maurice Bolden. That's another turnover for the London Lightning in the first half. They trail by 11 now as we approach the 8-minute mark here.
You even said it best at the beginning of the show, Brett. Uncharacteristic for the London Lightning to cause so many turnovers. But once again, those turnovers might give them a little bit of fits, because once again, they're last in points allowed.
Chad Frazier can't connect cleanly with Desmond Hubert as he can't hang onto it. Goes the other way for London as Maurice Bolden and Kyle Johnson get their signals mixed in transition. Here come the Express, and Shaquille Keith goes behind the back, but it's just out of the reach of Logan Stutz. He probably thought that Logan was cutting backdoor on the baseline, and Logan went to the corner. Just a little bit of miscommunication, but the Express seem to be flying on offense as we see Junior Cadogan coming into the fold now for the London Lightning. He's been hampered by injuries himself this year and has been able to lead the backcourt for the London Lightning, pardon me, a member of Team Canada's national team and a highly regarded player in this league. Kyle Johnson off the bounce, the second straight possession that he's going to draw a foul. The Express bench claiming there was a forearm there, but Johnson will go back to the free throw line with 7:13 to go here in the second quarter. And we obviously know of Kyle Johnson's capability of scoring in bunches, having seen him eclipse the 50-point mark in the past, as he misses his second free throw of the first half here.
I remember watching that game where he scored 51 down at the Bud Gardens. I mean, it felt like the rim was shaped like a hula hoop. Those shots kept on going in, but it worked out in his favor. So, once again, that's a big accolade you want to accomplish, being among the top scorers.
Off the glass, Maurice Jones just can't get it to fall. Loose ball is poked away by Logan Stutz and collected by Chad Frazier. Reset.
Good awareness by Desmond Hubert.
Frazier in the corner, Jones, tippy toes, and Logan Stutz plays a tight rope back there. Shaq Keith will get it now. He's got 4 seconds to shoot. Stutz in the corner, can't get it to go. Desmond Hubert finds a cutting Logan Stutz, and that's going to be a kick ball down low. Bit of a broken play once again, but the Express seem to be finding themselves in getting themselves to loose balls and getting themselves second and third opportunities here, as evident on that last few plays.
It felt like a circus within those last few moments right there, Brett. But once again, the Windsor Express capitalizing on those broken plays.
Chad Frazier off the bounce, and he's going to get a foul. Going to go to the free throw line. Kirk Williams Jr. going to be called for the contact on the arm. 6:30 to go here in the second quarter. Windsor up 37-27.
Okay, so the London Lightning, they're feeling a bit frustrated after not capitalizing on those broken plays. Trying to take out somebody down to the post as Chad Frazier makes the first free throw wouldn't be your best option. The best idea, regain composure, because once again, this is a good team that could really challenge you to the basket. Just find your ways to not have your back turned when the ball's rolling on, and you'll be fine.
Quickly up the court after that, 2 made free throws for Chad Frazier. London getting themselves involved. Ryan Anderson in the low post gets some contact, and he gets the three-point play. Ryan Anderson with that spinning jump shot gets the call on Maurice Jones and one. With his team down 12, that's a big basket, Aaron.
And that's one way to come back from after those flurry of plays on the other end here. Ryan Anderson, he has the tools to do it, and he has the ability to take those contested shots. No matter what, he follows through with his shots, whether if there's a foul called or not, or an awkward shot as he finishes up the three-point play.
39-30 now, as we see a press being put on by London. Junior Cadogan was going to be called for a blocking foul on the sideline. Couldn't quite keep up with Jones, who just had the bit of an edge there. Looking for a trap on the sideline.
Well, you got to like the double team effort from the London Lightning, because every time the Windsor Express has tight-roped the sidelines, they have flourished into a great play. So for them to double team immediately off the inbounds pass is one thing that they got to keep on doing.
Shaq for 3. Can't get it to fall. It's push, circled the drain, didn't fall, and there's going to be a foul on the rebound on Cadogan. So that's going to be 2 quick ones on him. 6:01 left in the second quarter. Windsor up 9. They'll set up an inbounds play. Shaq Keith on the ball. He inbounds it to Maurice Jones. He's defended by the long defender Marcus Capers. Driving baseline, kicks. Swing pass to Frazier. Hesitation, drives, kicks, Stutz for 3. Off the mark, but battling down low with Capers and Hubert. Williamson up in the front court, waiting for Capers to come back. Anderson now with it. I'm going to say poked away by Logan Stutz. Going to be 12 seconds to shoot. 5:33 to go here in the second quarter. And we're going to have a timeout here, Aaron.
First off, I want to give tips of the hat to Garrett Williamson for stopping in his tracks on that good defensive play from the Windsor Express. That was a 1-4 low, and he was able to stop, and there was a ton of London Lightning players waiting to get the ball from beyond the arc. So good play and good awareness by Williamson.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back with more from Windsor Express and London Lightning from the WFCU. Welcome back, folks. Second quarter action underway. 5:33 left to go here before halftime, and Windsor Express up 39-30 over the Windsor Express in a big game in the NBL Canada Central Division, as Windsor will be welcoming in some other Central Division competition next week in the Niagara River Lions. Three other games going on, and we'll get you caught up with those later in the quarter. Williamson over to Anderson for the quick three, and it's good coming out of the timeout. The Lightning cut the deficit to 6.
Once again, Ryan Anderson is one of those guys, he doesn't have to square his body up to the three-point line, because once again, he's found his niche in catching and shooting from around that corner.
Approaching the 5-minute mark, Shaq Keith hands off to Maurice Jones. Chad Frazier's been hot this half. Gives it over to Stutz, finds it cutting Shaq Keith. Off glass, can't get it to fall. Anderson up the floor, goes behind the back, gets in front of Shaq Keith at the free throw line, finds it cutting Garrett Williamson. He can't quite get it to go in off glass.
Garrett Williamson having a quiet game so far, Brett, so that might be the changing point for the Lightning here.
Frazier drives, kicks, keeps it, and goes off glass for 2.
Chad Frazier getting the hot hand once again. No answers from the London Lightning, so they've got to double team them at best.
Cadogan off in the lane, can't get it to finish. Kirk Williams Jr. knocks it out of bounds. It's going to be Windsor ball, 41-33 with 4:20 to go here in the second. Julian Boyd coming back into the contest. Junior Cadogan's going to take a rest.
And the Lightning got a lot of rest for sure. They haven't played since last Sunday, where they lost to the Halifax Hurricanes over at the Scotiabank Center, where they saw their 10-plus winning streak come to an end. So they're trying to bounce back from that with a statement win. So far, they're finding themselves with a difficult task down 8.
Stutz in the corner. Finds DeMontre Harris. Second opportunity, gets fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line. Trey Harris mishandled it the first opportunity. The second opportunity, he gets fouled and will go to the line. Trey Harris, a 6'10" man, wearing number 44. Averaging close to a double-double, I believe, Aaron, as you said, and he's been a fantastic piece to this Windsor Express squad.
And if it wasn't for DeMontre Harris, I don't think the Windsor Express would have so much confidence when it comes to those OBs and the DBs as well. So looking at him, he's a guy that has the tools to do it, as he knocks down both free throws. 11.7 points per game, but once again, his main game is boxing out.
2 points for Trey Harris as Windsor up by 10. Williamson driving, can't finish inside. Loose ball off the hands of Julian Boyd. It will be Express ball with 3:44 to go here in the half. Maurice Jones bringing it up the floor for the Express. Sets up a high screen with Harris. Finds Fraser for three. Off the mark, Logan Stutz down low. Loose ball, poked. Kept in bound by Logan Stutz. He finds Trey Harris, and he is fouled. That extra step, that extra hustle that we've seen has been very evident in the first half here, Aaron. Windsor chasing down almost every single loose ball that we've seen in the opening near 20 minutes here.
Well, it all started with Logan Stutz, and he and the Windsor Express have been giving London Lightning fits on these broken plays. So once again, a sheer testament of how the Express game has improved. And once again, DeMontre Harris making a name of himself, averaging about 7.7 rebounds a game. Flirts with the double-double, but got a double-double in the last few games. So you got to expect his averages to go high if he keeps on playing like this.
Absolutely. DeMontre Harris back to the free throw line. Windsor up by 11. 3:25 to go here in the second quarter. Goes 2 for 2, and Trey Harris puts Windsor up by an even 12.
And if there's anybody you want to put down for a newcomer of the year, DeMontre Harris is the guy. Yes, a tough challenge when you go up against a newcomer like Charles Hinkle and all the other players in the league. But
sure,
look at DeMontre Harris. Look at the confidence he brought in with the Windsor Express.
Almost gives the impression that maybe we should have a newcomer first team when we come into the league, as we see Shaq Keith have it go off of his hand, but they'll say it. The officials will have a quick conversation. London ball off the hands of Shaq Keith, as we saw there.
Now look, a lot of people are a little bit dismayed at that play, but once again, it could have gone either way. It's so close.
Absolutely, and the right thing was done. The officials conferenced and got the call right. 18 seconds to shoot on the shot clock right now. We'll see what they add to it. Nope, there will be 18. Ryan Anderson on the near sideline. Inbounds to Joel Friesen, and the London Lightning will set their offense. Goes high-low to Julian Boyd, off glass for two. Beautiful find and finish. Joel Friesen to Julian Boyd.
Now, once again, you don't expect a guy coming back from an injury like that to go airborne like Julian Boyd, but he has 6 points.
And Braylon Rayson off the curl. Knocks down the jumper just inside the three-point line. It's back to 12, the Windsor Express lead. Boyd for three, quick release. Racing in, Shaq Keith keeps it inbound, but it goes in the hands of Friesen. He quickly resets for three, and he drills it.
And the time that Joel Friesen Laddie is on the court, he could really boost up those threes for the London Lightning.
Shaq Keith mishandles for a moment, but gets it back. Battles Garrett Williamson. Quick pass to Rayson. Mid-post entry pass to Shaq Keith. Finds a cutting Maurice Jones. Friesen was trailing and will commit the foul. Jones to the line for two.
One thing to note about Joel Friesen, he's one of the few players that actually won an NBL Canada championship with multiple teams. One with Halifax back in 2016, one with the Lightning last year, and another player that I could think that won a championship with multiple teams is Kevin Loisel.
Yep.
He's doing a real good job over there at Cape Breton.
Absolutely. It's no secret. There's no surprise. Two important pieces to two very important championship teams in their own right. Joel Friesen and Kevin Loisel, as we see Maurice Jones put Windsor back up by 10, 48-38 with 2:14 to play here in the first half.
Friesen Laddie getting the Boyd screen. This could open up a good opportunity for him.
Picked by Braylon Rayson in transition, off the bounce. Lucier for three. No good. Transition offense up the floor for London. Williamson kicks. And he draws a foul on Anthony Otley Jr. That left hand release is what got Friesen. The draw of the foul there is Anthony Otley Jr. Gets called for his first.
That was an awesome play by Friesen Laddie. No bones about it. I mean, Rayson was right there on his left side, and that's his shooting hand. So once again, an open opportunity for him to go in with his body and get the foul. So you don't want to guard the shooter on their dominant side. You got to get him on the opposite side, force them to the other side.
2 down for Joel Friesenlatte, 1 more to go. Gonna try and cut this deficit to 7. And he does just that. 1:48 to go here in the first half. And with a strong finish to the quarter here, we could have a brand new game as Maurice Jones, hesitation dribble over to Rayson, quick pass over to Lucier. And that one's gonna be mistimed and gonna be a turnover. 1:36 to go here in the second.
You see, Braylon Rayson, he had the ability to drive inside, but he was just looking out for his teammates, and those cross-court passes killed the Express on that end.
Anderson gets a screen from Boyd. Finds Boyd rolling to the basket, goes off of a knee, and will be Windsor basketball after the Julian Boyd turnover. 1:23 to go here in the first half. Lucier will inbound to Jones.
Make no bones about it, Lucier doesn't get enough minutes on the court, but he makes his presence known immediately off the ball. So he's one of the threats from the bench for the Windsor Express, and more minutes for him could equal up more opportunities for him to become a two-way player.
Rayson for 3 after the pump fake and connects for the triple. It's back to a 10-point lead for Windsor. Julian Boyd off the bounce, and reaching in will be DeMontre Harris. Called for the foul. Express bench doesn't like it, but with a minute left to go here, some contact was definitely made at the free throw line. It's going to be on the floor. So London will reset. 18 seconds on the shot clock. Trying to find Anderson on the curl. They do, and he can't connect, but it's tapped out. Kept alive by Julian Boyd. They're going to go one-on-one with Maurice Bolden, pardon me. And he goes off glass, draws the foul. Go to the free throw line with 47.3 seconds to go here in the second. Maurice Bolden, former member of the Windsor Express, former member of the Austin Spurs, of the NBA G League.
Formerly the Austin Toros.
Was it the Toros? Okay.
I believe it was the Austin Toros, yeah.
You know something about that area, don't you, Aaron?
Yep. Moved here from San Antonio, Texas about 10 plus years ago, so you don't mess with Texas, and Braylon Rayson's a sure testament of that as well.
Lucier with the rebound leads to an offensive opportunity. Maurice Jones kicks it back out to Rayson. Crosses over, goes to his right. Rayson off the glass, gets it to fall. 2 big points for the Express, but quickly up the floor is London. Garrett Williamson off glass for 2.
Now he's waking up. This is the guy you really need to want woken up for the London Lightning. A good, clear pathway to the basket. Easy deuce.
Shot clock is turned off. 12 to go in the half. Windsor up by 9. Looking to make it double digits. 6 to shoot. Jones gets the contact, and he will draw the foul for 2 free throws. Joel Friesen left his feet there. Maurice Jones in the position to draw the foul, and he does just that. 3 seconds to go here in the first half.
A strange story of irony right there, Brett, because that was on the previous play where Laddie had the ball. That was the way he got to the free throw line, but now Maurice Jones taking a page out of his book, and he'll try to convert for 2 shots.
Misses the first, so he'll have a chance to make it a 10-point game, but London will have enough time to get a shot off before halftime. Jones connects. Bolden looking up court. He gives it over to Williamson. Boyd. Short. And Friesenlatte can't get the shot off in time. It's going to be a 10-point lead for the Windsor Express at halftime. 54-44. And the Windsor Express faithful are in favor of their team's hot play in the first half. Aaron, quickly your thoughts before we go to break.
Well, hats off to DeMontre Harris. Chad Frazier's just lighting up the scoreboard, so for the London Lightning, they really need to take advantage of that and try to double team after the inbounds pass. All
right, we'll come back with about 5 minutes left to go in halftime for some stats and facts and around the league scores. We'll come back for third quarter action later from Windsor, Ontario. We'll be back for more on Knockstrom.tv.
When it comes to cash loans, our customers will tell you there's only one choice: Cash Money. It's home of the original 300 for 20, where you can get a $300 cash loan for just $20. And with Cash Money's express approval, if you need more than $300, you can get it in minutes. And if that's not enough, we've got a kangaroo as our mascot. Okay, 300 for 20 is probably enough. So for cash loans for people who really care, come to Cash Money, home of the original 300 for 20.
Cash money, love my cash money.
When it comes to cash loans, our customers will tell you there's only one choice: Cash Money. It's home of the original 300 for 20, where you can get a $300 cash loan for just $20. And with Cash Money's express approval, if you need more than $300, you can get it in minutes. And if that's not enough, we've got a kangaroo as our mascot. Okay, 300 for 20 is probably enough. So for cash loans for people who really care, come to Cash Money, home of the original 300 for 20.
Cash money, love my cash money. eh.
All right, welcome back, folks. We're moments away from second half action between the Windsor Express and the London Lightning. We've got one game that's right near the end in the Atlantic Division. Is two games that are, I guess, inside the 2-minute warning. Oh, I guess the St. John Riptide, that game has just become final. Obviously, this one's a barn burner, 54-44. Really consistent play for the Windsor Express in terms of balanced scoring, chasing down loose balls, but obviously in the other side of the court, you've got the London Lightning, who have a ton of firepower and can easily erase this 10-point lead if they have a consistent approach here in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's right. The London Lightning are known to become a very good powerhouse in the second half, as alluded after so many times of going up against the Windsor Express. And I think last year in the playoffs that proved that too. Of course, I keep on alluding to last year, but once again, Windsor had a 10-point lead, and that dwindled down really quickly. So expect a close barn burner here as we begin the third quarter here.
Williamson on the bounce over to Kyle Johnson off glass, finishing inside. No, robbed by the rim, and Maurice Bolden, with the offensive rebound. That pass is picked off by Chad Frazier, who led all scorers in the first half. Demontre Harris down low, gonna draw a foul on Garrett Williamson.
Yeah, the Riptide taking care of business against the Cape Breton Highlanders and leading the way on a double-double. Jeremiah Morty, 21 points and 11 boards to his name. Quick steal.
Kyle Johnson settles for three off the front rim, chased down by Ryan Anderson. He relaunches, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Joel Friesen-Laddie. Windsor Express ball, 11-11 to go here in the third. Windsor up by 10.
Two good looks from Johnson and Ryan Anderson. They couldn't get those shots to go. They haven't had as much good chances from the three-point line, but if they wanted to capitalize on that, that would have been the possession to do it.
Harris getting a call for the offensive foul. One bump too many, and Maurice Bolden will take the charge. No live stats available for you today, folks. Apologize. Stay with us. We'll do our best to describe each and every single play. 1 minute inside the third quarter. Beautiful passing play leads to a slam dunk from Garrett Williamson.
And opportunities are opening up for him right now. We've seen him near the end of the second quarter really waking up there, and now he has converted all that energy here in the second half where the Lightning needed the most.
Shaq Keith down low, pump fake, gets it up and crawls it over the rim. Reestablishes the 10-point lead. Williamson. Quick jab step from Ryan Anderson. He hands off to Williamson. Crosses over to Johnson. Kyle Johnson wide open for three. Ooh, off the mark. Rebounded by Shaq Keith. Stutz looking down low, finds a cutting Shaq Keith. He'll bring out Maurice Bolden to the three-point line. Working his way down inside the mid-post. Hands it over to Chad Frazier. He drives. Reverses over to Stutz. Jab step. Gets called for the foul, and Ryan Anderson going to be called for the foul on the floor.
He's pleading his case, but a little too much body on right there.
Yeah, it looked like he had a hold of the left hand as Stutz was going up for the shot, and they will say it is in the shooting act. 56-46, 9:52 to go. The former league MVP when he was in Niagara, Logan Stutz, to the free throw line. And Aaron, we're looking forward to hosting Niagara next week, I believe, right?
Yep, this coming Friday, and this is a game the Windsor Express really need to stay on board for because Niagara has been causing them so many fits as of lately. But once again, why not with the firepower? First off, we talk about Carl Hall, and then Marvell Wade, and then, of course, the Mr. Two-Way guy, possibly vote for the newcomer of the year, Guillaume Payon-Boucard. So they really got to be on the ball for that game this Friday night.
Niagara 10-13 there in the middle of a clash as we see London in the front court. Williamson drains the two-pointer and makes it a 10-point game. 9:35 to go here in the third. Shaq Keith over to Maurice Jones. And we're going to have a 3-second violation against DeMontre Harris. Good job defensively by London to cause the miscue on the Windsor offense. 9:22 to go here in the third. Windsor up by 10.
Now you see here London's tightening up on the defense. I expect them on their next go to have a good 2-3 zone. You know, dwindle Windsor all the way to the sidelines and force a double team.
Williamson working himself inside the key, kicks it back out to Anderson. Ryan Anderson directing traffic, gets a screen from Bolden, cutting Bolden, kicks it into the corner for Williamson. Cannot convert, quick pass out to Maurice Jones in transition. Goes around the back and a mistimed play. Logan Stutz runs into Maurice Jones and his pass ends up out of bounds. Anderson back up the floor for London. Anderson over to Williamson, quick off the bounce, turns in the middle of the key and drains the shot. Cuts the deficit to 8, 58-50 with 8:30 to go here in the third. Shaq Keith brings it over to Maurice Jones. Going down low to Shaq Keith, he's gonna go one-on-one with Kyle Johnson. Finds Stutz in the corner for 3. Off the front rim, rebounded by Kyle Johnson.
Anderson and Johnson right down to the paint, ready for the rebound while the Express were up top.
Friesen for 3, and that cuts the deficit to 5. 8:05 to go here in the third. Jones kicks it out to Frazier. Frazier hesitates, kicks it up to Stutz. Another 3 for him. That's off the mark again.
See, beyond the shots beyond the arc are killing the Express right now. They get so set up, but once again, London with the 2-3 zone. They get 2 players on the other side boxing out for the rebound, and that has been one of their vices.
Maurice Bolden in the low post, battling against Shaq Keith, hesitates, and they're going to call a foul against Shaq. A blocking foul as Maurice Bolden is slow to come up. Perhaps they'll say his foot was inside the restricted area as Sefton Barrett's going to come back into the game now for Windsor. Looking for a little bit of a boost after a good start to the third quarter for the London Lightning. Have cut this deficit in half, 58-53. Trey Harris coming out for Sefton Barrett. Bolden. Jab step, drives left. Left hand, no good. Shaq Keith rebounds. Up the floor come the Express. Shaq Keith in the corner. Sefton Barrett traveling. Yep, shuffled his feet. And we'll have London ball on the near sideline.
We've seen earlier, and especially the last game, Brett, once again, Sefton Barrett still trying to adjust to the Windsor Express system, but so far he's been piling up a couple of turnovers, so expect him to get better acquitted with the system soon.
Kyle Johnson, that's 7 straight points for the Lightning. Attacking the basket now. Shaq Keith gets a 2-pointer back. And a foul going to be called against Maurice Jones, trying to slow up that tenacious offensive assault by the London Lightning there. Picks up the foul, 6:56 to go in the third. Team's third of the frame. And Friesen will reset.
Now those are the 2 guys you really need to put a hand on, Friesen, Laddie, and Anderson.
Johnson puts a shoulder into Maurice Jones, but Maurice was reaching in, so he's going to be called for his second foul in a row.
Express foul, number 11, Maurice Jones, his third.
That's his third foul, second in consecutive plays. Bolden, one-on-one with Stutz. Stutz goes down, shot doesn't fall. Play continues, 60-55. Maurice Jones off the bounce, off glass. And Sefton Barrett is going to be called for the offensive foul coming in. And that's going to be the call as London will reset from the baseline. 6:24 to go here in the third quarter. Substitutions coming in for London. That's Kirk Williams Jr.
We're hearing the boo birds here, Brett. They're not liking the call, but once again, Sefton Barrett a little too aggressive on the follow, as some of the London Lightning players had their back turns, not ready for Barrett.
Approaching the midway part of the third. Friesen. Left-hand entry pass to Kirk Williams Jr. and another foul going to be called against the Windsor Express. That's 4 straight fouls called against the Express in the last number of minutes. 2 on Jones, 1 on Barrett, and then now 1 on Frazier. Johnson with his three-pointer is blocked. Shaq Keith is way to the basket. It connects.
That's how you convert after those vast number of fouls. Shaq Keith gained the upper hand. That's a major mismatch, and he took advantage of that real well.
Johnson gets the defender up in the air. He goes down low to Kirk Williams Jr. They're going to call an offensive foul for the arm bar, and it's going to go Windsor's way.
You see, Kirk Williams Jr. is trying to bully Chad Frazier after getting the hot hand, but unfortunately a little too much elbow grease on that play. He could just simply fade it away and go for that shot.
Williams Jr. call for the can opener, and we're going to have a timeout here midway through the third quarter. Windsor up 62-55 here over the London Lightning. We'll come back with more stats and facts after these messages. We'll be right back from Windsor.
When it comes to cash loans, our customers will tell you there's only one choice: Cash Money. It's home of the original 300 for 20, where you can get a $300 cash loan for just $20. And with Cash Money's express approval, if you need more than $300, you can get it in minutes. And if that's not enough, we've got a kangaroo as our mascot. Okay, 300 for 20 is probably enough. So for cash loans for people who really care, come to Cash Money, home of the original 300 for 20.
Cash money, love my cash money.
Welcome back, folks. In the middle, right dead set in the middle of the third quarter, the Windsor Express leading the London Lightning 62-55, and we have 2 games in the Atlantic Division that are finals now, and one going on. It seems like it's a dead heat in Niagara between the River Lions and the Titans.
That's right, Brett. Deadlocked at 75 apiece. Tip to the cap over to Derek Hall. He already got his double-double, 15 boards, 14 points. He's been basically the guy the KW Titans have been nudging on since Russell Bird left to the Atlantic Division, so he's having a good double-double, and we see Maurice Jones inbounding. We'll get to the other 2 games right after a dead play.
Racing on the far wing. Entry pass to Shaq Keith. He battles Friesen Laddie. Picks up his dribble, kicks it out to Racing for 3. Off the mark. Racing in is Sefton Barrett. Loose ball picked up by Anderson. Williamson back to Friesen. Extra pass on the corner for Johnson. Short. Off the hands of Kirk Williams Jr., and it will be Express ball. Subs coming in. Desmond Hubert going to come in for Logan Stutz. Going to take a break.
This is the go-to lineup for the Express right now. You're going into the heart of the bench while you keep Keith and Harris in. No, correction, that's Sefton Barrett. But now Raylan Racing at the side. Look at this.
Step back 3. Rebounded. Oh, nearly knocked in to the net. on the second chance. Anderson going off, and he finds Kirk Williams Jr. off glass for 2. Cuts the deficit to 6. Jones over to Rayson. Step back jumper on the baseline. It's good. Swish.
Got the step on Anderson and everything, left him high and dry in that cloud of dust. Got that jumper to go with ease.
Friesen looking inside, goes inside to Kirk Williams Jr. Kicks out. Williamson, mid-range, drives. Off the front rim, racing in, blocked by Desmond Hubert.
See, there you go. You got the heart of the Windsor Express.
And Kyle Johnson's going to be assessed a technical foul now for not being too nice to the A-frame.
And once again, that technical foul is like based off of frustration. I understand Kyle Johnson's look at it, but once again, you're so close to getting back into this game, so you got to maintain composure right here.
Absolutely. This could be a crucial part of the game for the Windsor Express as Braylon Rayson connects on the technical free throw. Windsor Express will now have possession, full 24, so could be a 4-point swing here, Aaron, as Windsor now with a 9-point lead with 4:28 to go here in the third.
And, you know, I'm impressed with how they're playing on the offensive end, too. Defense, you know, it needs a little more work, but they're swinging the ball around, good ball rotation, and they're finding a lot of unexpected players down deep to finish the job done.
Shaq Keith for 3, and just like we said, the 4-point swing is in full effect. Windsor back up 12.
Shaq Keith, since his injury, has been firing on all cylinders.
And there to respond is Joel Friesen-Laddie.
With that nice caramel, silky smooth finger roll.
Maurice Jones, defended by Ryan Anderson, gets a screen from Hubert. Hesitation dribble, kicks it out to Rayson. Sefton-Barrett for 3. Just too much, but that's ripped away by Maurice Jones, and a foul going to be called against Jones. That's going to be his 4th. So that's a humongous play, Aaron.
Hey, granted that's a foul, but you gotta admire the bunnies that Maurice Jones had to get that rebound. I'm quite impressed. Boo Birds again coming alive, but you know what? To Maurice Jones' credit, he shouldn't be disappointed at that play because that was good effort from him. The hustle's really right in for the Windsor Express. Now they got to capitalize, considering that this is Jones' 4th foul.
Yeah, no matter what the officials do, one half of the fan base is going to say that they're wrong. So
yeah,
it's just part of the game. It's a heated possession every single time these two teams compete. Should be no different as we see Williams Jr. miss the first.
And once again, the fans might be seeing something differently on their screens.
Yep.
But we're up in the media booth and they're down there, so the referees, they know what they're doing. It was a good call because he was over the back.
Absolutely, and Kirk Williams Jr. goes 0 for 2, so that's a good foul for the Windsor Express. 10-point lead, 3:33 to go here in the third. That's a lot of threes. Maybe Windsor's looking for a 3. Shaq Keith. Oh, just off the mark, and Desmond Hubert, he's going to be called for the foul.
Over the back again.
Yep, I agree, and that's a number of times that we've seen Windsor in this half going over the back and getting called on the offensive rebound.
They're taking advantage of the broken plays and the second chance opportunities, but they're becoming a little bit too anxious to get the rebound. Let's try boxing out down low instead of just leapfrogging from somebody, because somebody could get hurt in those type of notions.
Doug Herring Jr. to the free throw line for a pair.
Doug Herring among one of the leading scorers for the London Lightning, Brett, but once again, his main game, as indicated during his times as a mill rat, is his unselfish play of guiding and collecting those assists.
Herring goes 2 for 2. A little bit of pressure put on by Kirk Williams Jr. as Braylon Rayson brings the ball up the floor. Windsor going left to right here in the second half. London will go right to left as Brett Hedges and Aaron Sanders are on the call. Chad Frazier thought about taking the 3. He thinks again and connects.
How is this guy continue to have the hot hand from the first half? London's trying to find answers, but he keeps on shooting it with ease.
From my count, he had 18 points in the first half. Put him over 20 there with that triple as we go in the low post. Kirk Williams Jr. fadeaway jumper, too short. He chases after his own rebound, though. Gets the second shot. No call. Going the other way. Shaq Keith. Frazier feeling it. Off the mark. Chased down. And kept inbound by Doug Herring. Marcus Capers on the bounce to his left. Herring looking for a cutter. He's going to go left himself. That's fouled by Chad Frazier. Someone made contact there, and it looked like it was Frazier.
It was either Frazier or Barrett right there, Brett. So really see what they say. Yep, Frazier.
That's his fourth. So now the Windsor Express backcourt in a little bit of foul trouble as Maurice Jones and both Chad Frazier have 4 fouls.
Now you see the Express, they set themselves in a 3-2 zone. That did not work out for them because the guy that was down at the wing did not pick up for Herring Jr. to go to the basket. So not a good decision from the players up top. So they really need to close in and clamp down on those offensive attacks.
And Herring
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
back to the free throw line, connects there, makes it a 9-point game, 72-63, 2:22. Otley Jr. comes back into the contest now as Sefton Barrett helps Shaq Keith break the press. Braylon Rayson's going to be the primary ball handler in this group of 5. Sefton Barrett switched off on Herring. To his right, kicks. Shaq Keith for 3. Dead on. It's a big triple for the Express.
Shaq comes back with the 3.
Anderson. Quick 3 early in the shot clock goes off the mark. Windsor's back on offense. 1:45 to go here in the third. Bill Jones signaling to his team to run the offense.
London at the 2-3 zone.
Braylon Rayson crosses over on Kirk Williams Jr. Gives him a look after nailing that 3. And it's a timeout called. Windsor is rolling. It is 78-63 with 1:40 to go here in the third quarter. Aaron, your thoughts?
Impressive shooting display from the Windsor Express. The defense needs a little more work, but you can see right there they're real set on the offense, no matter how many changes they do. But Braylon Rayson and Shaq Keith catching the hot hand, my goodness.
And they are getting some love and appreciation from their hometown crowd. Let's stay here during the timeout. A lot of good things going on in the NBL Canada today, including 4 contests, 2 of which are our final. Aaron, can you bring us up to speed with those?
Yes, I will. The Halifax Hurricanes escaped the East League Center with a 3-point victory. A 28-point performance from the squad did it justice, finishing off with a high score. Billy White, I'm telling you, he's a guy that's going to gain a lot of attention here. 22.7 rebounds, 3 dimes, and 2 steals to his name. Over we go to Cape Breton, where the Cape Breton Highlanders, they lose a home game over there, 114-96 to the St. John Riptide. Once again, Jeremiah Morty finishing off with a double. Same with Gabe Freeman. I'm sure he's going to have the line of the day. And over at the Meridian Center, the Niagara River Lions and the Cape W Titans holding their own in what has been a really close game. Already, Derek Hall has a double-double, and it's 84-83. The River Lions with the lead. And you know what? A good shooting display from both squads. Niagara shooting 49% from the field, KW shooting 50%. And once again, I think we alluded to this so many times, KW really need to get some W's on there if they want to get the final playoff spot.
Absolutely. Herring Jr. off the bounce, just short on the drive. Braylon Rayson quickly up the floor to Anthony Otley Jr. His shot is blocked in the second opportunity. It is Logan Stutz drawing the foul. Anthony Otley Jr. crashes into Ian Shalapata, a Windsor area photographer. Gets up close and personal with the young man from Red Deer College, and Logan Stutz goes to the free throw line.
Don't ruin his camera now. Honestly, we're here for a photo finish, not a cracked lens. But anyhow, you got to go to the other end. Joel Friesen Laddie just climbing the elevator on that block. So
fantastic
it's a
play.
good take.
And Stutz will split the pair, so Windsor up by 16, 1:24 to go here in the third. Herring hands it over to Laddie. That one is knocked away by Sefton Barrett. Friesen looking for a call on the contact on the wrist. They'll have 12 seconds to shoot. Inbounded to Williams. Anderson gets rid of his defender, finds a cutting Marcus Capers for 2.
There you go. Marcus Capers is known to piercing through the defense. He has that power into him. A lot of people would underestimate him, but he pays a lot of attention with the 6'4" frame, just diving in there on the open shot.
Under a minute to go here in the third quarter on Knoxroom.tv. Brett Hedges and Aaron Sanders on the call with you on Windsor Express for London Lightning and the NBL Canada action. Thanks for joining us, folks. Shaq Keith on the bounce for a draw, and he's going to get a foul called with under 45 seconds to go here. 14-point cushion for the Windsor Express, and they seems as though they've found, in the past number of weeks, they've found some offensive consistency, and they've found themselves in a bit of a rhythm. Would you agree, Aaron?
Well, I agree with it, too. A lot of people would expect, and I checked all the fans from around the league, they say with the Windsor Express, with so many acquisitions they haven't found their footing, but I think these past 2 games have just shown that the Windsor Express has found their stable footing. I mean, look at DeMontre Harris coming in. Once again, Sefton Baird's got to find his way into the league, but you got veterans like Logan Stutz and Shaq Keith, along with Maurice Jones, to help these new players along their way.
And I think a lot has to be said about the start that the Windsor Express have gotten off to in the past 2 games, as Windsor gives up a bucket there for Marcus Caper. He slams down the ball through the rim like he was mad at it.
Back-to-back buckets for Marcus Capers.
And that cuts the deficit to 14 points with just over 20 seconds to go here in the third. Windsor with a 3-second differential in game and shot clock, maybe 2.5. Rayson will hang on to it. Set up a 4 low. Shaq Keith in the corner, perhaps.
Isolation.
He says, forget about isolation, I'll take the shot myself. Herring Jr. at the buzzer, and it's off the heel. Windsor with an 84-67 lead over the London Lightning. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with some more stats and facts and our thoughts of this game. Windsor up 17. We'll be back with more Windsor Express action after this.
When it comes to cash loans, our customers will tell you there's only one choice: Cash Money. It's home of the original 300 for 20, where you can get a $300 cash loan for just $20. And with Cash Money's express approval, if you need more than $300, you can get it in minutes. And if that's not enough, we've got a kangaroo as our mascot. Okay, 300 for 20 is probably enough. So for cash loans, for people who really care, come to Cash Money, home of the original 300 for 20.
Cash money, love my cash money.
Welcome back, folks. Through 3 quarters of play, the Windsor Express lead the London Lightning 84-67. And Aaron, the first and the third quarter seemed to be very strong for the Windsor Express, that they seem to have widened this gap here from 10 at halftime to now 17.
Well, it's because of the offensive awareness on one end. I mean, DeMontre Harris, he simmered down a little bit, but opened up a lot of opportunities for Braylon Rayson and Shaq Keith to get those open Jays, and especially from beyond the arc. London Lightning, they really got way as we lose power right here, folks.
Oh, no.
I think the Undertaker's coming.
I think a fuse broke.
Back in.
And the man upstairs said, let there be light. And then there was light. So just a few moments into the fourth quarter here, Windsor was up 84-67 over the London Lightning.
Once again, we're coming in on a. There was a little issue with the arena lighting, so we blacked out for a few moments. So we apologize for leaving you for a moment here, folks. But while we rectify the situation, we'll give you once again a little quick reminder what's going on around the league. Only one game going on from the other two, and this is the one the Windsor Express need to look at before the end of this weekend. The KW Titans and the Niagara River Lions. KW on the midst of an upset. They're up 94-90, and we have a little issue with the shot clock, so they're going to fix that. So we're going to look down through the stats as we try to retain order here at the WFCU Center. Like I said before we ended the third quarter, really confident and consistent shooting from both the River Lions and the Titans. 52% for KW, 49% for the River Lions. But we've seen a lot of consistent shooting here from this game alone, and the Windsor Express really taking advantage of Royce White not being here. Once again, Royce White taking a little bit of a leave of absence, returning to Minnesota, and we'll get on more of that when we return here right after this timeout.
All right, Shaq Keith misses the first. Windsor still up a cool 16. Minute into the fourth quarter.
And once again, we apologize, folks, for the quick interruption. We had a blackout in the arena once again, so everybody is getting their bearings straight as we continue on with this game. That's going to be a foul on Anthony Otley Jr.
And as we always approach the fourth quarter, Aaron, we always talk about free throws and turnovers and things that can allow the team who are trailing to get back into this game. 4-point swings, 5-point swings. It all starts on defense, and Doug Herring Jr. takes a bump there and scores off balance. A big 2 points for the London Lightning.
And not to mention composure when it comes to these final 12 minutes.
Braylon Rayson playing at the 1. Anthony Otley Jr. got caught between two decisions there and turns it over. Capers off glass, good for 2. 4 straight points for London.
Marcus Capers regaining his balance after that cross-court pass. He was able to get the job done because he had nobody that could challenge him for that shot. Keith doing a little do-si-do inside. Looks at Otley Jr. for the shot.
Capers up the court for Windsor, or for London, pardon me. Back to a 15-point game. Johnson to Boyd. Boyd connects for 3. That's a good sign for the London Lightning as Julian Boyd connects from deep in his first game back.
What did I say about players returning to the London Lightning? They have a hot first game, and Julian Boyd is just picking shots. He's been phenomenal so far.
Sefton Barrett driving baseline, kicks it out. 5 seconds to shoot for Shaq Keith. Launches it. Oh my goodness, Shaq Keith.
Not only it was from the parking lot, it was from way over LaSalle.
Offensive foul called on Julian Boyd. That's a good job by Logan Stutz as Sefton Barrett falls trying to pick him up.
And they all get up.
The boys have a nice laugh about that as the Express enjoy a 15-point lead. 9:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. And you spoke about a little bit earlier in the game, Aaron, that Windsor does have a victory over the London Lightning earlier in this year. And I believe a win today would put them at 2-1 in the season series?
Yes, this will be the first time the Windsor Express would gain a season series lead with the London Lightning since the 2015-16 season. So an advantage like that would do them numbers. Otley Jr.
And he is connecting on all fronts. Otley Jr. for a triple. And it's back up to 18 points now for the Windsor Express, 95-77. Over 8 minutes to go here in the fourth. Williamson. Quick ball movement for the Lightning leads to a wide open shot for Boyd. He gets his own rebound. Tries to kick it out, but he turns it over. Anthony Otley Jr. 1-on-0. And he's going to draw a foul on Doug Herring.
Going back to the season series, Brett, I do recall that last year the Windsor Express were one of the 3 teams that limited the London Lightning to under 100 points. That was right here last March. It was a good victory, 113-94. It opened things up for the Windsor Express to get up and rolling for a good winning streak in the second half of the season. So you have that advantage right there. So anything could happen between these two ball clubs as we keep on alluding to the 401 rivalry.
Absolutely. You think of last year, Windsor Express didn't have a great start to the regular season and ended up rounding out into fine form and giving the London Lightning a bit of a series. Were unable to win a game in that series, but did give them quite a run as Kyle Johnson goes off the glass for 2. A lot of those pieces are back on this team in London this year, Aaron, and they can have a lot of the same success. But Windsor's doing a great job tonight of limiting that success. They're up by 17 now with 8 minutes to go here in the fourth. Obviously, it's not over yet as Logan Stutz draws another foul. But it seems as though the game plan is definitely working for Bill Jones and company tonight as they own a pretty sizable lead over the defending NBL Canada champions.
Well, Bill Jones and the squad took advantage of the major deficit from the London Lightning. Like I said before we had the little blackout, that Royce White will be on IR for at least a little while because of taking care of some family business down in Minneapolis. So, of course, we wish for all the best for the White family over there. But, you know, the Windsor Express has been picking the London Lightning here throughout the whole game.
Shaq Keith to his left loses it. Ryan Anderson with it now. Johnson looking for the three. Resets and connects for three. Big shot for the London Lightning as they try to come back here in the fourth.
You see Kyle Johnson did a real good job on the hesitation dribble. That's what those dribbles do to you. Create space and calmly you could get that three.
Shaq Keith finds a cutting Anthony Otley Jr. He gets his own offensive rebound. Can't get it to go once again. Herring finds a trailing Maurice Bolden. That's blocked again by Sefton Barrett. That's number 2 for him today. Saved from going out of bounds by Braylon Rayson. Great hustle showed by the young man from Texas. And Sefton Barrett will settle it down now, as you said.
You don't mess with Texas. The guy has such tenacity. Yeah.
Works into the front court now, and he rises for three.
Woo! Speechless. Speechless.
Puts his gun back into his holster, Braylon Rayson. The sharpshooter puts his team back up by 17. It's 99-82, and we're going to have a timeout called by the London Lightning here. Just as we approach the midway part of the fourth quarter, Aaron, just seems that the Windsor Express are firing on all cylinders.
Especially from beyond the arc, too. Braylon Rayson on one end, saving the ball from out of bounds, regaining his composure, and coming right back. Now, the Windsor Express, they're becoming real trigger happy on those shots, but they do need to be careful because time and again, the London Lightning has proved that they could come back from a deficit like this, and it's one of the reasons why they sent the St. John Edge in the Moncton Magic into overtime a few weeks ago.
Absolutely. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back after this message from all of us here at Windsor. All right, coming back now. Windsor up by a cool 17. Keith Vassell and company trying to draw up a couple plays to get them back into it. But it seems as though for every punch that London has been able to throw, Windsor's been able to come back with the counterpunch right afterward.
Well, they're 2 steps ahead, the Windsor Express, but Keith Vassell, if there's one thing that this team knows to capitalize on is that second half defense. I mean, we've seen Marcus Capers go on a scoring tear just a little bit ago, but now you got to rely on your guards like Kyle Johnson because once again, it's that backcourt that's going to lead the London Lightning to possible success here in the fourth quarter.
Big shout out to our camera operator today, Izzy G. Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication on Knockstrom.tv. Williamson finds Maurice Bolden at the three-point line. Driving to his right, stripped away by Maurice Jones. Pushed it over to Chad Frazier, and he just can't hang on to it, just a bit out of his reach. And it will be a missed opportunity for the Windsor Express with 6:26 to go here in the fourth.
If Chad Frazier would have regained his balance, he would have looked for a lob for Logan Stutz, and that would have been phenomenal.
Alas, here come the Lightning. Bolden can't knock down the shot from mid-range. And Jones with the rebound will cross over the timeline. Approaching the halfway mark of the fourth quarter. Offensive foul going to be called against Braylon Rayson. Going to be called maybe a forearm shiver as he was trying to get away from the defender. 6:05 to go here. Windsor up 17, 99-82. And of course, Aaron, big matchup in the NBL Canada Central Division right now as we see Anderson readjust in the air, miss, rebounded by Jones. Niagara and Kitchener-Waterloo, that's coming down right to the wire, eh, buddy?
Well, with 9 seconds to go, you got to expect a big play from here. 102-98, Niagara with the lead, and it's all because Jalen Tate, with ice wires in his veins, connected with a 3 with under 13 seconds to go. So we'll see how that plays out.
Shaq Keith finds Logan Stutz down low. He gets separation from the defender, and he scores 2. 5:30 to go. Windsor has cracked the 100-point mark. 3 from Anderson off the mark. Rebounded by Johnson. He can't knock it down, and it's going to stay London ball with 5:24 to go. Last touch by Logan Stutz, says the baseline official. Herring will inbound. Anderson barely grazes rim, but Kyle Johnson is there. He clears out Maurice Jones and goes off glass for 2. 101-84, 5:10 to go here in the fourth.
Now the Windsor Express, they want to slow things down now, racing.
Johnson on the run with the rebound. Off a foot. Johnson gets it over to Anderson to save the turnover. Anderson to his right. Establishes his feet, up and under. Can't get it to fall.
Oh,
and a foul going to be called against Ryan Anderson for a little hold. And Chad Frazier, I believe it's going to be 5 or 6 on London in the quarter. It's number 5, but it's offensive, so
no free throws.
No free throws, very good.
Strangely enough, the Express only has 2 team fouls. They've really locked down on the discipline level within the last number of games here, Brett.
We're going to have a foul away from the basketball as Logan Stutz was trying to establish himself down low. Kyle Johnson, that's going to go against Stutz on the offensive end. That's going to be his third with 4:33 to go here in the fourth. A great job has to be talked about by Braylon Rayson filling in. Chad Frazier and Maurice Jones, a little bit of foul trouble throughout the first 3 quarters, 4 fouls each. But he's done a great job in filling in and knocking down some big threes when his team needed it. And there, as we see all 3 of them on the court at the same time, as Doug Herring Jr. can't knock it down. Jones, Frazier, and Rayson on the floor with Shaq Keith and Logan Stutz. Shaq Keith, step back jumper. Too much. Stolen from Logan Stutz. Now they're going to call a foul. Nope. No foul, pardon me. I thought I heard a whistle.
Yeah, it's either that or somebody's foot squeak, but you best believe we heard some sort of squeak from up here. But Logan Stutz, he decided to play on.
So he gets a steal and a bucket out of that. Johnson blocked by Maurice Jones.
The bunnies on Maurice Jones again. Can't underestimate him.
A little bit of disorganization by the Windsor Express there. Shaq Keith and Logan Stutz in the same area, so they can't convert on transition. But Maurice Jones will pull it out with 10 seconds to shoot. 3:33 in the fourth. In the corner, Rayson. Driving baseline, he connects. Beautiful drive, beautiful patience showed by the Windsor Express. 3:26 to go. It's all Windsor here tonight, Aaron.
And once again, it's just overtones of the game we had last year. The Express limiting the London Lightning to under 100 points is a good look for them. The Express average 104 points per game. They're well on that. And then as for the London Lightning, no answers for any of the backcourt for the Windsor Express.
Let's stick right here as we head into late into the fourth quarter. That game, Niagara and Kitchener-Waterloo, that's tightening up. That's a 1-point game now as it's going to the final possession in the fourth quarter. Of course, we love you watching over on Knoxroom.tv, but that's a barn burner there if you guys want to catch the last couple possessions of that game.
Absolutely.
And as you said before, Kitchener-Waterloo desperately looking to get into the win column tonight as Niagara is looking to keep themselves within the upper echelon of the NBL Canada Central Division. So very big game for both teams.
Well, you got the 3 seed versus the 5 seed. KW coming into this game 3-14. And I believe Serge Lanchas has said time and again, that they got to find some way to get W's, and the players have to zero in within the system in order to get to it. I mean, we've seen a couple of acquisitions, the big jackpot trade, Russell Bird going east, Derek Hall staying, and a lot of people are really liking the effort since that trade because it's been Derek Hall ever since. But for the Niagara River Lions, they're still the promising team in the Central Division. New coach, basically a refresh squad, but once again, they are in playoff contention, and they had a hot-to-trot start at the beginning of the 2017-18 season.
Absolutely, and Darren Duncan, it seems as though he knocked down 3 free throws to make it a 102-101 game with 4 seconds to play on the clock. We'll see how that finishes up as we come back to Windsor Express and London Lightning action from the WFCU Center here in beautiful Windsor, Ontario, the Rose City. The
Rose City, good old 519. One more quick update on that game, a quick foul by Ed Horton, so the game is pretty much all but over as Niagara will go to the line. Speaking of going to the line, here is Kyle Johnson.
Number 1 of the London Lightning. Goes off front iron, and the London Lightning Windsor up by 21, 105 to 94, or 84, pardon me, as Bolden misses for 3. Braylon Rayson with another rebound. Braylon Rayson on the bounce. Tried to get it to go around the world on Knockstrom TV. Williamson leaves it for Friesen Laddie. He can't connect. Last touched by Maurice Jones, and it will be London ball here with 105-84 the score, 2:50 to go here in the fourth quarter.
See Kyle Johnson on the inbounds pass. That's a deadly play.
Friesen Laddie to Williamson off glass, and a foul going to be called against Maurice Jones. That one's going to be his fifth, pardon me. 6th in the pro game, of course. So Anthony Otley Jr. will check back into the contest. That one's going to come in for Chad Frazier. Adding a little bit more size at the 3-4 spot.
We want to welcome the viewers who just watched the good fish between the River Lions and the Titans. River Lions pull through 103-101. We're looking forward to see the River Lions here on Friday.
Yes.
As those free throws are made. So hang on tight. We're the only game in town now here, Brett.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us on Knockstrom TV. Braylon Rayson swings it over to Shaq Keith. Ball's handed off to Maurice Jones as he has Friesen Laddie on him. Goes to the right, stops at the free throw line, kicks it over to Otley Jr. Anthony Otley Jr. is having himself a game. Shimmy shake. Rises up, can't get the shot to fall. 2:20 to go here. Williamson off glass for 2. Beautiful spin move down low as he gets away from Shaq Keith.
It is as smooth as you could get.
2:05 to go here in the fourth quarter. Windsor with a 17-point lead over London on Knockstrom TV. Jones. Down low to Logan Stutz. Draws the double team. Garrett Williamson picks it up, but Maurice Jones probably played some DB in high school, playing some football, and he intercepts that pass.
It's a nice pick from him. If he would have gone all the way, that would have been a pick 6.
10 to shoot. Jones crosses over, scoops, and barely rims out as Maurice Bolden with the rebound. Quickly up the floor because Doug Herring Jr. Friesen Laddie off the bounce, gets the foul and the basket to go.
Joel Friesen still pushing on here, Brett.
For sure.
He's stepping up to the occasion. Unfortunately, the London Lightning, it's all but over for them, but once again, a good effort, and they're showing that they are a real tough second half team. They're being able to bully on the boards and take advantage of the broken plays. Now, if they would have converted that some way in the early goings of this game, it would have been closer than what the folks see on their screen right now.
It's a 15-point contest right now. Windsor's had about a 21-point lead as their biggest lead of the game. Jones finds Otley Jr. driving baseline, blocked by Maurice Bolden. No quit from him tonight. Under a minute to play. And, ooh, a big bucket there. Does not fall. Might have gotten a timeout from Coach Jones if they would able to get another bucket. Otley Jr. helps break the press. Finds Logan, sets down low for two. Easy 2 points for Logan.
Logan has had a very, very good game along with the backcourt for the Windsor Express.
And I believe that's going to be an and one for Joel Friesen once again. Fortunately, this might be a case of too little too late, as Windsor owns a 15-point lead with 34 seconds to go. Good to see that the London Lightning are not quitting, as these two teams will battle each other again very soon in the NBL Canada regular season.
One thing to note too, Brett, they're not far away from each other. They're going to play again on Thursday night to begin February, and this will be the third time the Windsor Express will go on a 2-game winning streak as a quick steal.
Johnson mishandles it for a moment, is defended by Otley Jr., passes shot into the corner, and Friesen launches a three-pointer. 17 seconds to go. It's an 11-point game. Shaq Keith is doubled. Behind the back pass to Maurice Jones, and that's going to do it, folks. The Windsor Express will come away with a big 107-96 victory over the London Lightning, giving them a 9-11 record at the halfway point of the year.
And 2 wins in a row for them. This is the third time they've done it this season. Once again, they take care of business against the London Lightning at home court. They haven't done that since last March, so hats off to them.
Absolutely. Windsor led by a balanced offensive scoring effort, but I'd have to say that our player of the game would probably be Chad Frazier, in my opinion. He was dynamite all game long.
Yes, he started out right out of the gates, hot hand in the first half. In the second half, he continued that. But once again, you got to look at other players. Braylon Rayson lighting up, Shaq Keith too. Logan Stutz, a very terrific game from him. So the Windsor Express, we've seen a lot from the backcourt tonight. The front court just complimenting them, which was ironically the London Lightning's game before coming in here. London, they dropped their second in a row, and the Windsor Express, they win 2 in a row.
Absolutely. This has been a fantastic time. This has been a sports presentation by Knoxstream.tv. Over 140 viewers tonight. Aaron, would you mind signing us off for the beautiful people all across NBL Canada land?
All right, for the 93rd time for me, this has been a presentation of Knoxstream Digital Media, producing the media excellence in Southern Ontario. Once again, final score, the Express 107, the London Lightning 96. For Izzy Grondin, our camera person, Brett Hedges, this be Aaron Sanders. Until Friday, saying so long from the Rose City.